Hello and welcome to episode 39 of the Livewire Gaming Show. It's been a couple weeks again. We're busy. Get over it. This week we're talking about the Nintendo DS games Pokémon Diamond and Pokémon Pearl. Not really. We're going to talk about the remakes, obviously. Pokémon Brilliant Diamond and Pokémon Brilliant Pearl came out for Nintendo Switch a couple weeks ago. I know. Me and Dill have been playing it quite a bit. Stephen, I've seen you jumping in and out of it. We'll get to that. We can catch up. Where's everyone at? Dill usually gets shafted with going first. So, Stephen, how have you been? What have you been up to?
Why don't you go first? You've never gone first, so you go first.
I opened the podcast, so technically I go first doing that. So
I had COVID the last 10 days. I'll just take it. Yeah, I had COVID, so I've been hibernating for the last 10 days.
Fun.
Yeah, do you know what it was? It was I wanted to use that 10 days to like play a lot of games, but then I was like, I have no energy, I have no drive.
That's when you know you're sick.
Yeah, it's like that whole when you were a kid and you're like, you get given out to for like playing a game when you're sick. You're like, you're not really sick. It's like, right, this is when you know you're sick.
That's when Louise knows I'm really sick. If I don't want to play a computer game, she's like, oh, you're actually sick.
The lights are moving too fast for me. Yeah. And that's what it was. It was just so intense. So yeah, it took me, what was it, last Thursday? So I started playing games on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, I think it was. So I started playing Brilliant Diamond, got hooked into that. I'll keep that for the main segment, but yeah, really, really enjoying it. Playing Apex and the usual. Tried playing a bit of Destiny, couldn't really find any reason. I was kind of
couldn't give a shit about the 30th anniversary stuff next week. I'm not when it comes out, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, let's go do the dungeon and get all the shit.
Yeah.
Currently, right now, I'm like, I wish it wasn't coming out next week because I really don't want to play Destiny.
The gap was too big. Yeah, like
I just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah,
I want to play Dark Souls or something.
Is it a limited time event?
No.
Okay, so if I bought it now, I can just
you can play.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing. You can't. They're treating it as a DLC, so you can't play it cross progression. So if you buy it on PC, you can't pick up it on PlayStation or Xbox, and vice versa.
I had a feeling that.
So it's kind of like you pick your one place to buy it and play it, and that's it. And I was kind of like, okay, that was a bit annoying. So I have to play it on PC.
So it's not a 3-week thing now over, like between now and Witch Queen or anything like that. It'll be there. So if I pick it up closer to Witch Queen, it'll still be there. So I'm
pretty sure it'll still be there.
Because I was thinking that's why I was saying to you today, did you buy it? Because I was like, I don't really want to buy it because I'm not going to play it now because Endwalker's out on Friday, which I'm still not going to play.
Yeah.
But I don't want to pay 20 quid and then force myself in just so I can get a Galahorn.
Yeah.
Because it's a fucking limited time event. So,
I don't think it's limited. Like the fact that you're paying for it makes me think it's not limited. That the dungeon will be there until the Cosmodrome gets yeeted.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't arsed looking at it.
I haven't, to be honest. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah. I haven't looked into it, but I would assume that's the case. Sorry, Dill. What else have you been up to?
All right, I was googling it there to see.
In a week where Cyberpunk has had a lot of good publicity, what have you been up to, Dill?
I've been playing Cyberpunk, and you know what? I don't know if it was seeing that stuff on Twitter that kind of re-sparked it, but I was just really in the mood to play an RPG.
As somebody who has really liked Cyberpunk for the last year, I've really enjoyed the last few days.
Seeing the
you really have. You really fucking have. Every second text from Kev is like, look at this Cyberpunk stuff.
It's great.
It was a toss up between that and The Witcher, and I wanted to play The Witcher more, but the remaster doesn't come out until Q3, I think it was.
Yeah, it's delayed.
And I was like, okay, I'll play Cyberpunk. So I messed around on my settings on PC, finally got it to a state where it was actually decent, and I was like, oh my god, this is actually a night and day difference to what I was playing on. So started kind of picking up where I left off. I was about 18 hours into the game. Loved it.
That's the point where I started.
I've deep dived. From that point,
I played about 20 hours of the game and then just start again. I do it with every game. I play a game for 2 or 3 hours and then just start it all over again. But with Cyberpunk, it was 20 hours and just deleted the character and just started again.
Jesus. See, when I logged back in, I wanted to start again, but I saw that I had so much hours into it that I was like, no, I just want to finish. I want to get the culmination of this out of the way, and then when the anniversary, or not anniversary, just because we're talking about Bungie, when the remaster or the next gen comes out for PlayStation 5, 100% gonna pick it up and play it on that. Because I actually do want to just dive into that, invest into another story, you know, because what's a street kid, corpo, and poor
Nomad.
person, yeah, Nomad. So
the only thing I'll say, and it's not really spoilers, it only really changes the first 2 or 3 hours of the game.
Yeah, culminates it in the same spot.
And then it changes, like you get different dialogue, but I really hope that is part of the next big update they're doing, that it kind of diverges them a little bit better throughout the story. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I will say one thing. People need to move on from the Cyberpunk controversy shit on both sides. Like, just because it's doing good, and it's kind of like, if another game isn't doing as good right now, it's like everyone laughed at Cyberpunk, and it's like, I don't like that. That's just kind of like, just because
it's petty.
Yeah, and I saw a lot of that stuff because I started following the fucking, what's it called, the new thing on Twitter, or not new, where you follow the genre or the name of it or whatever, and you get literally oversaturated with everything. That kind of ruined it for me. So I was like, right, quick unfollow. But I think on both fronts, like people saying, oh yeah, but it had a shit launch. It's like, just move on, like enjoy it for what it is now. As an RPG and story wise, and the detail in it, I think it deserves its place in the Game of the Year awards that it got nominated for. But then on the same front, it's like, just because it's successful now, let it be successful. Like, it's yeah.
But it is worth saying, like.
No, what's the sorry?
Go on. I was gonna say it's worth saying that the whole launch fiasco thing is mostly reserved for the poor old gen. Like, PC gamers typically had a fairly decent experience, and those who knew what they were doing with tuning their performance and reining things. Like, I had unrealistic expectations, set everything to max with a 3080, but then bottlenecking it with my CPU.
Yeah.
And like, my performance wasn't great anyway, but now when it's improved, it's still not much better, but it's smoother. So I think, to be fair to it, the game launched for PC really well, but just wasn't optimized for PS4 and Xbox One, and
Definitely
it should have never.
Yeah.
And that's a mistake they made. Is they should have just said, we're not launching on this. And
100%.
It's not like, yeah, exactly. And it's not like the things like Battlefield where everything is launched in one go and everything, and it's just shit everywhere. They got greedy, put it on a platform that it shouldn't have been on, but the actual game was in a good state, just not for that console.
And that's another thing I saw a lot of over the last week. It was comparing it to Battlefield, and I was kind of like, Battlefield wasn't in development for 10 years. Like, it's a different genre, it's a different like scope altogether. So I don't like that comparison, and it's like just laughing because Battlefield isn't in the top spot that it would have been if it was given more time or whatever. But yeah,
I think Battlefield is a different kettle of fish. I think Battlefield is the victim of terrible decisions by the developers. Whether that's whoever made those decisions, whatever. Not blame the developers, but the people, the management level of developer,
the direction.
They sucked a lot just from being a kind of outside viewer of the whole Battlefield thing. They sucked a lot of what people really loved about Battlefield out of that game, and that's before you talk about the performance state, and that. But like with Battlefield, it's that the game modes aren't finished. It's not the way it's supposed to be. It's literally an unfinished product that's been launched.
Which you can then tie into Halo Infinite, which has the same situation going on, where all of the game modes that people love are gone, but they slapped on the beta tag. Therefore, you can't complain.
Yeah.
I think
got that get out of jail free card.
I think with Halo, like a lot of the complaints I've seen with Halo can be answered with, it's a beta. This is what the beta is for. It's to test this shit before it's the finished product. But on the other side of that, is it a finished product? Should it have launched? Probably not.
Well,
And
considering-
you could actually say the same about the campaign that's coming out in
a week.
in a week, that it's launching without desirable features. They're launching without 2/3 of the game being there when it launches, and it's like, should you really be giving your 60, 70, $80, whatever it is, or your 15 quid on Game Pass to something that's not finished? And I think that's where the conversation has to come in. When a lot of games get launched and they're unfinished, they get fucking slated. When Halo gets launched and it's unfinished, it's why this is a good decision for a Halo, and it's like, come on, it's pot and kettle.
I think from someone who's never played Halo before, because being PlayStation growing up, I think people's glasses of the rose tint variety were too big, and it's very samey and looks like it would get very repetitive and very boring very quickly. I tried watching it on Twitch over the weekend. I got bored. Like, all I'm seeing is just people throwing grenades at each other, and there just looks like no tactical play. I think those arena kind of style shooters, it's trying to play catch up, or it's trying to reinvent it in a time where it's not popular. Like, BRs are the high octane kind of performance first person shooter at the moment, and I don't think it fits in at all. And I think that player base is going to die off very quickly over the next 3 months.
Oh, it will.
Apart from the high end,
Yeah.
like Microsoft are obviously going to put money into it, competitions wise and events and tournaments and stuff like that, because of the name that it has. But take the name off of it, and if this was just another space sci-fi shooter, arena-esque, like
Splitgate.
yeah, like Splitgate, or like, what was the other one, the BR style that came out a couple of months ago on PlayStation and Xbox and that. Can't even think of the name of it, but that was supposed to be the next big thing.
Hyperscape.
Hyperscape,
Ubisoft.
that's it. Yeah.
Exactly,
Throw that
Stephen.
tag on it.
Stephen, exactly.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
It came out one weekend and it lasted that weekend, and that was it.
But you know what? There was actually a lot of really good stuff in that game, in that BR. Like, I didn't play it. I don't interest in playing it, but they did a lot of really good things in it. It just didn't have the fan base because of Call of Duty, Apex, Fortnite.
Yeah. So take the Halo tag off this, and I think you'd have a fraction of the player base.
I think there's a lot of hype around. Obviously, Halo coming out, the last couple of launches have been rocky, especially Halo 5. A lot of people were really unhappy with those previous launches, and I think there was a lot of excitement for Halo being fixed. A bit like when Destiny 2 launched for Destiny 1. It was Destiny been fixed, and we all saw how that went.
Yeah.
But I think from a personal point of view, I look at Halo gameplay and I just kind of go, it's not for me. There's no desire to play the game from watching people play it or watching clips. And that's a personal thing. I appreciate that a lot of people really fucking love the Halo franchise and want it to be good and that's all. There's nothing wrong with that. But I do think you are correct in saying that once the hype has died down from the beta going live, and then when the main game goes live next week, I think you'll have a couple of months of hype, and then it will. And you'll have the hardcore people that love it, that keep playing, and you'll have the competitive scene. But I do think it is a case of, it's the cool thing right now. Everyone has to play it, and it's free to play, so just download it and go play it. But it will have that curve off, and people will go back to their Destinies, their Call of Duty, which is shit this year apparently, to Battlefield and to Apex or Fortnite. They'll go back to where they generally play. And that'd be great, because then you don't see people playing it that have never played it before and are only talking about it because it's cool.
And we'll stop giving out about battle passes. Like Apex 2 or 3 seasons ago, I remember playing that the first night it came out, and I played it for I think,
we played
8 to 10 hours.
Yeah,
it must have been then.
Yeah.
And I think I went up 3 fucking levels.
Yeah.
Like, it was obviously fixed later on in the season, but it's like, these things happen. Like, it's not like complaining about a battle pass of all things. I thought was a bit, especially when
I think it's to do with a battle pass should be supplementary to your actual playing, and I think when there's a grind heavy battle pass, and Destiny have done it in time, Bungie did it and have scaled it back because they realized people didn't like it, but it creates that I have to play this game or I'm gonna miss out.
Yeah.
And that's where the problem comes in. It should be, oh, I'm playing games and naturally unlocking shit as I'm
Getting
playing,
stuff.
and
Yeah.
it feels rewarding because I'm like the whole. It's better given the increased XP at the start, but it should just be a flat high XP gain every single game, no matter how many you play. So if you have people who fucking love the fucking shit out of your game and play it, they get everything quicker, and that's normal.
Yeah.
But if you have someone that can only play 2 or 3 games a day or a couple of nights a week, they can still get that shit done without feeling like they're gonna miss out. Because no one wants to feel like they're gonna miss out. But when when they have shit like that in it, it makes people feel like, oh, I'm gonna miss out. This is too punishing.
And that's like what Destiny struggled with for a while, with aiming, with just who they want to appeal to in terms of, can you log in and do whatever you want to do and still progress on whatever battle pass or whatever. You shouldn't have to do bounties in strikes and shit like that.
Yeah.
You know.
I also think with the battle pass, some of it is really fucking stupid in that when you unlock, say, a color scheme, you unlock that color scheme for a specific set of armor or a specific armor piece. If I unlock I don't know what different armor types are in Halo, but if I unlock a blue visor for one helmet, but I don't wear that helmet, I don't have access to that blue visor for the helmet I wear. I have to buy that blue visor with that helmet for real life money. Thanks for that, Ralph, by the way. That was part of your video. It's totally stolen. But that's kind of like, it should just be unlock blue visor for all armor. But again, monetization.
Like a lot of battle passes are shit. Like,
yeah.
Apex's one's fantastic, a lot of it. There's some really good stuff in it. Destiny's one's quite good. But no, it's the whole way they've gone about it, in that you unlock a blue visor for one piece of armor. It should just be you unlock a piece of armor
across the board.
The other thing it does as well, and I noticed this last weekend, was playing a bit of it, is on like level 2 or 3 you unlock 4 pieces of armor, and it's like, you've unlocked this, but then all of a sudden a little like lock appears on the 2 of them. You're like, that's cheeky. You made me think I unlocked 4 pieces of armor, but now 2 of them are locked. It's like, fuck that.
Is that level locked then, because you're not high enough to
that's money locked.
Serious? So you've unlocked the ability to buy it, basically.
It's a bit scummy.
So, it's like the way in Destiny, the way you've got your paid and free passes, but like,
oh yeah,
it doesn't make it look like in Destiny, if you don't have the season pass, it doesn't make it look like you've unlocked that. Whereas in this one, it came up on your unlock screen and then shows it's locked. So you're like, fuck off.
Okay.
I think the other side, like, I hate this whole thing. Oh, but it's a free-to-play game. No, it's not. It's the PvP part that's tagged on to a full-priced game. Halo Infinite is a full-priced game. The PvP is just a separate launched application. It is still tagged onto a full-priced game. This shit should not be included.
Suppose they think they can get away with it because it's a separate download.
Yeah. But no, they absolutely can get away with it because it's a separate. Because they are. Because people will fucking defend it because they love Halo. It's the way people are. They defend the shit they love even when they do things wrong. Anyway, Dill, you're talking about Cyberpunk.
Was I?
Apparently. No, I can't.
You're talking about a week anyway.
To say about it. Yeah.
No, it is. I'm as someone who loved the game at launch because I had the hardware to play it as I wanted to. It is nice to see it getting some good publicity and see people play the game and go, actually, this is a really good game. Because at the end of the day, problems aside, what's actually there is really good.
Great content. And like that's the thing. Like personally, I've never disliked the game.
No.
I just knew I wasn't gonna be appreciative of the way it performed, and that's
absolutely fair.
Yeah, like I always liked it. I always wanted to like it. I just there was no point in getting hyped about it for it. You know?
And that's the way I always, like, if someone says, oh, you played that Cyberpunk, what did you think of it? And it says, do you have an RTX graphics card? If you do, go play it, because it'll be great. If you don't have an RTX graphics card, wait until you do. Because it's a way better game when you have an RTX graphics card. Or a next generation console.
The ray tracing is what makes that game as beautiful as it is. Like, without that, it's
still beautiful, but
it's a current gen game. It doesn't feel
Oh no, yeah,
like
absolutely, yeah.
No,
Absolutely.
without ray tracing, it is a completely different experience.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
it is,
toggling
it
it
is.
on and off, and I was lowering down like my shadows and stuff like that, thinking it was gonna help it, but I was like, I can't. It's just it's
No.
not this. It's not the experience that I
Yeah.
want, and that's
absolutely fair.
yeah.
You want a
Yeah.
certain experience, and yeah, that's absolutely fair.
and
But like in
even
terms
now
of
when
in terms of the characters and the story and that, all that's fantastic.
Oh, phenomenal! Yeah,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Like
Like
there is other stuff with the character building stuff, with the weapons, with the upgrade tree and the vendors, all that sort of stuff could do with being expanded on and being reworked. Some of it needs to be reworked, absolutely. But
Yeah.
what's actually there is fucking brilliant.
that's what I enjoyed about it, that you can go into that direction of builds to make your gameplay easier and like build into a game style that you want to play. But
What
I
way
like
have you
that it's
gone, by
not
the
fun.
way?
But that's the thing. I like that it's not fundamental on that experience, because I'm just sprawling out across the board. Like I like using the copperhead rifle, so I was like, right, I'm gonna get myself like 20% extra crit chance, blah blah blah, all that shit. Same with handguns. So I've just been literally rotating weapons. It's like, oh, I have a blue, here's a purple, and I got a gold, so I'm gonna throw that in instead of saying, oh no, I can't use that. I have to specifically look for something that complements what direction I went on the tree. But I couldn't even tell you my layout, because I literally just spec'd into the top three points across the board, and the odd bit of hacking. But
Yeah, Stephen, I'm gonna give, as someone who you haven't played a lot of the game and you might eventually get to it, go hard into quick hacking. Max the
Okay.
shit out of your quick hacking, and max out crafting as well, because then you can upgrade. So all the, what are they, iconic weapons are they called? They're the one of
The
a
gold
kind
ones?
weapons in the world. I think they're iconic
oh,
weapons.
I don't know.
Because you can then upgrade them to the max thing if you have your crafting at high as well. So quick hacking and crafting is the way to go for that, 100%. The quick hacking is the best way. It's the quick hacking stuff is the most unique part, gameplay experience for it. Because you have your weapons, and the weapons all feel great to use, but does the quick hacking stuff makes it feel like it's a unique thing to that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like the quick hacking.
Once you start getting good into it, when you start getting the good
But that's-
stuff, it's fucking great. You can clear out a whole room with one like quick hacking one enemy.
Like that's the thing. Like I have been playing it quite stealthy actually for the way I like to play games, and I was kind of surprised. But you get so much freedom. It's like if you can run past this without touching anything and just I don't know how to describe it properly, but it's I just like the way it doesn't make you go one style, or it's like the mission is to get from here to here to open the gate or whatever, and
Yeah,
you can do that any way you want.
and
You don't
you're
have
not
to.
and you're not punished for doing it a certain way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and like it is very generous with their kind of line of sight and stuff like that, and giving you those extra couple of seconds to let the meter fill up and stuff. But yeah, just really enjoyed it, I have to say. So I can't wait for it to come out on console to actually play it like in a different setting.
Yeah, I really hope they add in like certain things to that. Like, one very simple thing would be changing the color of your car. Like, add in a paint spray. That'd be great. But no,
can you not
You
do
don't
that?
have that, no?
no,
Oh.
no, you can't edit.
Wow.
Well, you can if you download a PC mod, but you can't change it just to whatever you
It's
want.
mad.
Yeah, there's no editing in that. There's certain stuff in there, like the vendors need to be reworked. The skill tree needs to be like just looked at, not completely overhauled, but just tweaked here and there.
That's a complicated skill tree. Like every time I look at it, I go,
It's really,
No.
it's actually not as complicated once you actually look at it. I'm like, it's the kind of thing when you're at the end of the game, you kind of go, oh, I know what I want. It's not that complicated, but at the start, it's like, holy shit, there's these skill trees have skill trees.
well, that is it though, because there's like your attributes at the top that you can
Yeah.
put bits into. And then you click into that, and then there's this sprawling skill tree. And I'm
But I
like,
think what it's actually, it is a criticism of it that a lot of the stuff in the skill tree, it's kind of pointless stuff for
Yeah.
the kind of game that it is. where they could strip out the plus 2% crit chance or plus 2% headshot damage and do that in different ways and just leave the cool fucking cyberpunk shit in the skill trees.
Yeah, that would work.
Anyway, Stephen, what have you been up to?
Lots of housework, lots of assembling furniture, lots of drilling holes into the wall and scaring myself shitless. There's currently a mirror hanging over the fireplace that I've drilled in with. Have you come across the hardwall tacker?
No.
Basically, it's like this giant staple gun, but you put it against the wall and there's a little drill in it, and you hand drill it, and it'll go through concrete. But it goes through about 3 mil, and then you get like this kind of hard plastic tack that you put into the hole, and then you can hang stuff off it. Now, it will hang 12 kilos. The mirror is 14 kilos.
Oh no!
Fucking
I've done
heavy
is-
mirror.
I put 2 of them in,
Yeah.
and I have it hanging on both of them. I'm like, maybe it'll be fine. I'm like, surely it can hold 24 kilos now with, mats.
The
It's
spares.
double.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's double. It's not 14 on each side. I was like, but with gravity, it kind of is. So I'm like, I check it every night just to make sure that it's not about to fall. So that's
Just don't stand under the mirror, basically.
well, if I stand under the mirror, my head's in the fire. So
Plot twist, it's above his bed. On the ceiling.
On the ceiling.
Yeah.
Whatever you're
so
into,
I've been doing
Stephen.
that. Yeah, I like watching myself. What are you on about?
It's crazy how
Um,
fucking heavy mirrors are. It's the glass in them, but they're so fucking heavy.
Proper mirrors, yeah. Like if you get the cheapy ones that you can get from IKEA or
Hey, leave
in a
IKEA
Euro
alone.
shop. IKEA's grand. Actually, you know what? I sent you that picture of my new gaming
Mirror.
room. The mirror and the mirror.
You didn't send a
Um,
picture of your gaming room.
Did I send you the picture of the L-shaped couch?
No.
Oh, I'll have to send you that picture.
You only sent me the picture of this fucking mirror.
Oh, I
Or
thought I sent
maybe
you
it-
the picture of the couch.
Maybe you did. I
Oh,
didn't
well, I'll
see
send it to you
though.
again.
I didn't.
But,
Anyway, go on.
So yeah, because I was telling you anyway about the L-shaped couch and how I need to get the Couch Master now so I can play on it. The Couch Master Scion or something it's called. But it's fucking great, like having this L-shaped couch and then the OLED in front of it, and then I got the PlayStation, which now the controller's fucked, so it's been sent off tomorrow. And the Xbox and all, so it's great to have this kind of like nice, relaxing gaming space now. So
That
looking
actually
forward
looks
to using
well, yeah.
that.
Your safe zone.
If I say so, yeah, I'll send that to you as well. Actually, still.
But
I
it is
like
nice just having that kind of comfort corner, isn't it?
Cool.
Oh yeah,
Like when you're
I-
actually fully set up, it feels like it's a different experience when you're chilling out playing.
yeah.
I like how you've
No,
positioned the L part of the couch to be in front of the OLED.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Could
And,
I have
um,
to be leaning forward.
You see, that's what I'm hoping. What the Couch Master will do it'll kind of help me with that. But I've got space there that I can sit forward and get right into it as well. So
Yeah, it looks well.
that's a pull-out L-shaped bed from Jisk, which is the new like expensive IKEA down in Tralee.
Oh.
And
Is it
fucking
Finnish rather
grand.
than Swedish?
no, it's Swedish actually. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's Swedish living, what they call themselves.
I need to get a little kind of either an armchair or a small sofa for this room just for when I'm playing on the TV.
Yeah, no, it makes a massive difference to just being relaxed. But other things that I did this week. So was the last week we did the Demon Souls stuff? I know I
Yeah.
gave you a
Yeah.
hand with a few bits.
That would have been about 2 weeks ago now.
Was it? Jesus.
Yeah,
2
because
weeks
it was
ago.
just
Yeah, like-
before I got sick. Yeah.
I
I
gave
was playing
Kev
by
a
myself
hand.
last week.
Yeah.
You help me kill a dragon quicker.
Yeah. It's giving you a hand. Yeah.
Kev's like, I did it myself.
Yeah,
You
I
were
did
just
everything else.
there.
It was not. I did everything else myself except the dragon. I was kind of like, I am not fucking bothered shooting arrows at this dragon for the next hour. Get Steven in and it makes it 20 minutes. It's quicker.
Yeah. I gave you a hand.
I think that's in the Oxford Dictionary as a
I think
hand.
I think under the Oxford Dictionary definitely helps kill blue dragon quicker is one of the definitions.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I'll be doing is actually, yeah, speaking of Cyberpunk, after I had the room set up, Deirdre came in and I was like, "Oh, have a look at this." And I put on Cyberpunk just to show her. I was like, "I have ray tracing on the OLED, can relax." And I was like, "This is great." Loaded up the mission where I didn't realize it was in this mission where I think V goes into an ice tub and you go into like you see the Matrix or something. And then you go back and see visions from Johnny back in like 2013, and he's playing the gig. And then after the gig, he goes backstage.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just sitting there going, "Oh, where's this going?" And it's backstage. There's a woman there. I was like, "Oh no!" And then they start doing it, and then I can just see Deirdre just on her phone and looking up, being like, "What are you playing?" I was like, "I really
Future
wish you
sex, baby.
I was like, "Oh, I was waiting for a prompt to be like press X to orgasm or something."
Yeah. Spend
then I was
10
like-
streetwise points.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh, here, I'll show you this really cool trick." I was like, Alt F4. I was like, "Oh, it's gone." So I need to go back and play that on my own.
He
On my own in a dark room
On
with the
L-
mirror positioned
on
right.
the L.
On the L, yeah.
Oh, fuck's sake.
But no, and then the other thing was playing Pokemon Brilliant Diamond.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. What about you, Kev? Oh, and one other thing that I did was nearly give myself a fucking heart attack trying to install RAM in my new laptop.
Oh, and a
And
laptop.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Gaming laptops are not built for. They're supposed to be built to be upgraded, but the back plastic part of it did not want to come off, and I nearly had to snap it in half. And that was the only way you could take it off, is basically bend it back, and it just
Jesus.
popped out. It was scary. So
Fucking
I
hell.
did that, but
And
it's
did
upgraded.
it work after? Was it okay?
Yeah. It's upgraded now and working fine. Better investment than a MacBook anyway. So
Nice.
for anyone who needs to hear that.
Bend the plastic.
Yeah. So
That's I have
no,
to redo my thermal paste this weekend. I said I was going to do it, so I'm dreading that.
Do you
You
need
don't-
to do it?
yeah, no one ever needs to do it.
Like, are you having performance problems?
Cyberpunk is bottlenecking still a little bit.
It'll still bottleneck.
It will,
even
yeah.
with it.
Now, I haven't done it in 3 years, so
If you're not having problems with heat, it doesn't need to be done.
yeah, it is very cool. Actually, I was only hitting like 48
Yeah, I wouldn't.
when I was in like.
I wouldn't
public
even
areas.
touch that. Jeez, mine hits like 80 or 90, and I'm still like, that's grand.
I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't bother.
Okay.
Who did your thermal paste for you that helped you get those temperatures, Dill? Just asking for a mate.
Kev, give me a hand.
It wasn't. It didn't make anything fucking quicker. Believe me. Ah. What was it?
What
we
have you
had.
been up to?
We ran into. Sorry, before I get into that.
Oh, yeah.
We ran into some weird. It was your fucking M2 drive. Your fuck not your M2, your What was before NVMe? Your SSD. Your fucking your Samsung SSD. They didn't supply the cable with you. That was the
Oh,
problem.
yeah.
So I was
yeah.
kind of like, how the fuck am I supposed to connect this to? And it took forever. I was like, oh, they just never. The package never came with that cable in it. So I had to give you one of my ones. That's what the
Your
problem.
cables.
Oh, and we couldn't figure out how to open the case. That's what it was.
Yeah, the
The PC case.
PSU part is.
Yeah, I was kind of like, I don't want to just pull
Separate.
this because I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. And it was actually just pull it, and it was fine.
Yeah.
Just gave it a hand.
Just get
Give
it
it a
out.
Hey,
hand.
what have I been up to? I think apart from playing Brilliant Diamond and Child and Pearl, after jumping into Demon Souls with you and after playing the Elden Ring network test, I kind of finally finished Demon Souls. I got through it real quick, and then
Nice.
after finishing it, I went and got the platinum trophy on it because I'm a fucking masochist. It's a
not
kind of
that difficult.
it's actually not. The platinum trophy looks worse on paper than it is. Like,
I think
if
it
you-
took you longer arguing with me about doing it than it took
than
you to
actually
actually
get.
just
Oh
do
yeah,
it.
probably. I did it in like a day.
Yeah.
It was 1 day plus a bit to do it. I got like, I think I did like 74% of New Game Plus in one sitting, and then just wrapped up the rest of the stuff and save scummed that towards the end. For what it's worth, Dale, I save scummed on the final boss. So when you're
What does
playing
that
it, if
mean
you're
to
I
Normal
finished the
person.
game, got my last trophy, and then deleted my save and re-downloaded the old save from the cloud. So I haven't finished the game technically. So it means when you're playing it, I can join you wherever you are, rather than
Okay.
having to run through certain parts of the game like Steven had to. So I've a save before the final boss, basically.
Yeah, I would like to jump back into it.
Yeah.
It
Whenever
was
you
just
want to
like
play
I
it, just give me a
wasn't
shout.
in the mood. Yeah, I'm away this weekend, so maybe next week.
Yeah, wherever you want, no problem.
And then Dark Souls 3.
And then Dark
And then
Souls
Dark
3.
Souls
I'm
3.
gonna play that a bit
Yeah.
tonight, I think, actually. Apart from that, I don't actually get played anything apart from Demon Souls last week. And Brilliant Diamond. Yeah, I think that's all I did, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think you've been doing much at all, really.
No, I was sick over the weekend as well.
Mhm.
I'm all right though. I think it was just Demon Souls. I can't remember when I stopped playing Forza. I just kind of got bored of playing that, but I think that was before the last podcast.
Yeah, I remember you were
I
calling
installed
off,
games on my PC. Does that count? I installed
That's
BioShock to play. I installed Dark Souls 3 to play it. Yeah, that's all I've really done. Play Pokemon. I've played like 30 hours of Brilliant Diamond, Shine and Pearl. So that's why I've been just sitting on the sofa playing that while Louise has been watching shit.
How
so.
many did you say? Sorry.
About 30 hours, I think I'm in.
Oh, nice.
I haven't finished the game yet though. I spent half.
Standards.
I
Still in
spent half
Palatown.
it. No, I spent half it in the underground. I think
Okay.
I've got 5 or 6 badges, so I'm getting there.
What's it? 8 badges? Isn't it?
8, yeah. So yeah, I
I
think
think
with
that's
that,
a good segue.
yeah, I think
Let's
we can
jump in.
probably
Yeah.
move on to those Nintendo DS games that we're going to talk about. It wasn't funny.
Nintendo.
It wasn't funny the first time. It's not funny this time, Kev. Let the joke die. Yeah. So, Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, Shine and Pearl came out Friday 2 weeks ago. By the time this podcast goes live, they were going to be delayed. Stephen was a little bit delayed, but they weren't delayed for me and you. We got them on time.
Yeah, because I got no notification. Right? So GameStop sent out that email during the week to say
Yep.
there's going to be potential delays. And then they said there is going to be delays. And still haven't heard about the pre-order bonuses yet.
They're
at all.
still not in. They're still not in.
Yeah, so
What
I'll
were the
say
pre-order bonuses?
It's
there
like
was
two
a
little.
steel case.
There's no
and-
steel case.
Oh, was there no steel case?
No, I thought
I
there
thought
was
it
a
was
steel.
all of it.
I ordered this edition of it. Like I got
The
that
double
one
pack, yeah.
because
Okay.
I thought there was a steel case. Apparently not.
Okay, so there's no steel case. You get a little Palkia or Dialga kind of
Yeah.
like amiibo kind of thing,
Yeah.
and a
Okay.
Pokeball badge. Is it?
I don't know.
Um,
It's a pretty crappy
Yeah.
pre-order bonus.
if there's no
But yeah,
steelbook.
so there's no. I love them steelbooks. So now Pokemon Diamond and Pearl released however long ago now, 8 or 9 years ago now for the DS. And the Pokemon fan base, as they do, have been clamoring for remakes. It's now going to move on to X and Y, I imagine. But they were clamoring for remakes, and they released a couple weeks ago. I found it quite funny when I started playing. I was kind of like, I have no memory of this game. Like, I don't remember any of this, even though I played it and I've played all of them. I was like, I don't. And it was only when I got to the cycle road where you're kind of cycling down, but you can go under it at when you get to the end of it. I was kind of like, now I remember this game. Yeah. So I think they're very faithful remakes. They're not like Final Fantasy VII remake where they overhaul fucking everything. They are
Drastic, yeah.
very, very faithful remakes to the originals. They have the same bugs and everything, the same glitches. It's hilarious.
Oh man, my YouTube recommendations list is just here's how to clone this, here's how to make shinies. I'm like,
Yeah, what
watch
is
it
that?
going, this is class, but I'm not doing this.
No,
Yes.
just in case.
Yet. It's not, but they are very faithful remakes. Even the art style isn't completely out of sync with the original versions.
Maybe that's the first thing we should talk about is
Yeah,
the graphics
the
and the art,
graphics.
because
What did you
that
think
was
of
a
it, Stephen?
that was a huge uproar when it first came out on the Nintendo Direct, and I remember being one of the like. So I'll start this by saying I played Red, Blue, and Yellow. That's all I played for Pokemon.
I haven't played this either.
Yeah, fucking
So
Gen 1.
yeah, so I don't have any experience of Diamond and Pearl, and yeah. So when I saw the graphics from the Nintendo Direct, I went, "Fuck these stupid, cheapy graphics. I don't like them at all."
I agree.
Now,
I was
playing the
completely on the
game,
fence.
yeah,
Completely on
playing
the
the
fence.
game, it's actually fine. Like I actually enjoy the overworld sprites and stuff. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
The part that I hate is the change then to the Pokemon Let's Go, the newer Pokemon updates in the battle screen and stuff. You're like, okay, so this little sprite turns into this like
Oh
hot
yeah.
Cynthia War. You're like, what is going on? It's like, why are these like? It's really distracting them when you go from one art style to another,
Yeah.
because I associate the newer art style with the newer games, and then Diamond and Pearl feels like it's in the middle between the two. I would have rather it just stuck to one or the other.
Sure.
But no, like I thought I'd be annoyed with the graphics for the overworld, but it's actually enjoyable. Because I'm playing I'm only playing it in undocked mode, so I feel like everything being slightly fatter
Undocked mode.
and yeah,
As opposed to
everything.
like docked mode.
Yeah, yeah. I don't get why you're giving out. I'm technically correct, the best kind of correct. What's the issue?
Don't Google docking. Don't
Eh,
Google image docking.
no, I will not.
I
No.
cannot be held responsible for anybody who searches docking in Google.
But yeah, like it's actually perfect for that size screen. I think
Yeah.
if there were proper graphics and stuff, it might have been a bit hard to get into. But no, I take back my reservations, and
Yeah,
I like the art style.
I agree. I was one that when they were announced and they showed off the the kind of the whatever you want to call it. You use the term. I don't know what it is, but the overworld. Yeah, I was kind of like, I'm gonna play it and I'm gonna be excited for it. I'm not a big fan of that art style, but it is what it is. I'll get over it. But when I started playing it, I was actually like, you know what? I actually, I like it. It's fine. I actually quite, I think it's kind of cute or something. I will say that like some of the spaces actually look incredibly nice to look at. Like the reflections in shiny surfaces are actually really really high quality for a Pokemon game. Like if even in your house in Pallet Town, New Bark Town, is it, or is that, I don't know, whatever.
That's one thing. The names actually just went over my head for
Yeah.
everything. I was like, I couldn't follow that at all.
Jubilite City is all I remember.
Jubilife, because I said it to you about 40 times. But yeah, the like even when you're in the starting bedroom, the reflections in the floor is really nice. Like, oh, I can actually see reflections. And if in the opening area of the game where you go off to where Mesprit is, I think, later in the game, the water looks really good. Like the water.
Oh
actually
yeah,
looks,
in the
it
caves.
looks
Yeah.
really really good. So yeah, like I think in terms of like it is a throwback kind of in art style to those older Pokemon games, but at the same time, I think it's done in a really nice and colorful and bright way. I think like Louise looks at it and goes, "How are you playing that? That looks like, how are you playing that?" But from me, it's like, oh, you know what? It's fine. It's nice. It's cute. It's colorful. I don't have a problem with it anymore. Yeah, I get what you're saying, Stephen, about the transition from one to the other. I hadn't really thought about it too much. It is what it is. I don't really pay attention to my character's model when I'm in battles. I'm kind of thinking, how quick can I get out of this battle and just get to the next part of the game? So yeah,
That's another thing. There is a lot of battles. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
it didn't feel like this. I haven't played the original, but just the classic DS style games. It didn't feel like it was that like in your face. Like it literally feels like once you're in that zone, you're like, right, I'm gonna have to fight at least 7 or 8 people here before I can fucking get to the next part.
I found that like the wild battles feel like they're ramped up.
Yeah, I feel like
You
I've
can't
gone from a
You
battle.
can't walk as far without getting nabbed by a wild Pokemon.
Oh, repels have been
Yeah.
thrown on. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I found that I've taken I've gone into battle and then literally taken a step or thought about stepping, and then I'm in another one. It's like,
Another one.
thanks.
I think caves feels like it's turned up a lot.
Yeah.
That's another one where you can't move. That's where the repels and elixirs, or not elixirs, ethers and all that have gone up. But going back to graphics, I think I love it. Like that, I didn't see the whole appeal for going back and revisiting that kind of art style where it's that chibi animation that it's just fat and kind of clunky, but as when you're playing it, it feels really nice. And I think if it does feel very current in terms of like if this wasn't a remake and it was just made today as a Pokemon game, I think it would still be received well.
I agree.
It's not very next gen. It's just very. It's nice. It's what it needs to be
as well.
Yeah, like after this experience, I would happily take this kind of style in remakes throughout the franchise.
Now, I think after this one, I won't give out or be hesitant going into a new game or a remake. The art style is what it is. I don't actually mind it. I'm just gonna be like, yeah, it is what it is. I'll take it, and then when I play it, I'll either like it or I won't. But I'm still gonna play it, so there's no point complaining about it. Be interesting if they do remake X and Y. They were the first ones that were really 3D. Like they were the first ones that did the 3D stuff. So it'll be interesting.
Was that in the French region?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kalos,
yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see if they remake them, which I don't think they should because they're still pretty fucking modern. The only thing is you can't play them on a Switch. You have to have a 3DS. But that's the case with.
But even ports, like if you could port that over the Switch, like I just think it's because like the Switch feels like this is their home for the next double-digit years in the Nintendo cycle, whether it's the Switch Pro next or whatever. But it would be nice to just bridge that gap and bring them all onto this one kind of home, whether that be a cloud or remakes or ports, you know.
Even if the Switch Online membership included a DS. Although, actually, we never talk about that. The bullshit and the audacity of Nintendo to fucking charge for N64 stuff.
No, I actually don't mind them charging for it. What bugged me was how fucking much they charged.
Yeah.
It's like 250% the price.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I think Nintendo Online is very much tanked in comparison to what they wanted it and expected it to be. It's just it feels very greedy, very very greedy.
Yeah.
But go on, Dom.
No, I was just saying. I haven't played it originally before, so I've played about 20 hours of it, ish. So as a first experience, I'm loving it. Like it's perfectly paced, like Pokemon, like RPG wise, in terms of like you go into the next city and then you're fighting near Team Galactic or whoever it is. That's
Team Galactic are actually a really good fucking enemy, whatever you want to call them, to go up against. They're really good villains. In comparison to some of the other ones, these ones are actually good and believable, and you understand their goals.
But it's I think it's very well paced in that terms. Like I love just the streamline of it, but the one part I don't like, and I don't know if it's just my experience or if I'm just not looking in the right areas, I just feel like you see the same wild Pokemon constantly. Like I'm sick of seeing Bidoofs and the next evolution of Bidoof. I'm sick of seeing fucking, I know in caves and all that you see Zubats and Golbats and that's normal, but I just feel like I see Bidoofs and Geodudes constantly. And it's just like, give me some variation.
I think after you've beaten the Elite Four, I think that changes. I think when you unlock the thing for whatever, I can't think of what's called now, but I do think when you beat the champion, it unlocks more. So more Pokemon can spawn because you unlock rare spawns and you unlock I can't think of what's called off the top of my head, but I do think more unlocks when you finish the game, when you get to the end game.
See, I don't like that because that's the point where I stop playing, and I know it's probably not the right way to approach it, but I feel like same way Cyberpunk, for example, I don't want to finish those last few missions because I know I'm going to be like, oh, I finished it. I don't want to do all the side quest stuff because I'm like, I've already reached that peak of the story. Same with being
With
the elite four
Cyberpunk,
in the
it's kind of
Pokemon League.
different. You don't get the peak of the story if you don't do the side missions. Because you get the shit ending, you don't get the good endings.
You know what I mean.
I know
Just
what I
in
mean,
terms
I know,
of
yeah,
the game is finished. I know there's the collectionist part of it or completionist, and you can go and fill the decks and you get your shiny charm and all that kind of stuff. But I don't like playing it that way. So it's like, let me traverse through the game, catch everything,
Yeah.
and then if I get to the end and I need another 20 or 30, I'm like, right, okay, I might just because I'm so close. But not like, let me catch 10 different variations, and it's like, here's another 140 that you've unlocked now because you beat the game.
That was an issue with Diamond and Pearl when they first launched that. Pulling off the top of my head, you can't get, I don't think you can get an Eevee, for example, until the end game. Even though the game came with a new Eevee evolution.
Evolutions, yeah.
But you couldn't actually get it until the end game. There's other examples where people want specific Pokemon to be in their team, but you can't actually get them until the end game. Now, when Platinum came out, they changed some of that. And that's what a lot of people are disappointed. Well, on Reddit anyway, because Reddit's a lovely place, but on Reddit it's like, why they should have remade those games, but with the changes they made for Platinum.
Yeah.
Which they haven't. They are very...
Because that's a more modernized change then as well, because Platinum obviously came out after.
Yeah, and Platinum corrected the mistakes of Diamond and Pearl that people didn't like. So yeah, you can feel restricted in the Pokemon that you can get in your team for the campaign of the game.
Yeah, because like
Sorry, Dill.
No, go on, Stephen. I was just saying, like, my main six are built up comprised of legendaries. Like, I literally have fucking Manaphy and Dialga as part of my top six because it's like I haven't found much variation in terms of different types to bring into the Elite Four, you know? Go on ahead, Stephen.
I was going to say, the one thing I do like, which I know that they say it to straight away, and I was like, oh, this is great, is that the Pokedex is... You alright there, Kev?
I just got €100.
Guess what you're buying?
Which queen? Do you know what though? Sorry, just to completely just come across this for 2 seconds, Stephen. In that, I think I'm very reasonable. That if I buy something for somebody and they give me the money back, I just say, just give me Steam vouchers. It works for me. I think that's a very reasonable way of doing it, rather than sending me the money. Just send it to me on Steam. It's money in the bank. It's like, no, it's not. It's like, it's money in the bank. Sorry, Stephen, go on.
The way the Pokedex is, to complete it and to unlock the national decks, you only need to see 151, not capture them. I hate that in all the other games where it's like capture 151 to unlock your shiny charm. Like, no, man.
You do still have to get 150 all of the Pokemon in the game to get your shiny charm.
I was just gonna ask that. Fuck's
I
sake.
can't wait for Pokemon Home to be compatible, where I just go mass download.
Everything. Yeah.
Please let that. I think it's confirmed for Q1 22.
Yeah,
but
it's generally March. 2 or 3 months after launch.
Because I do not want to fucking capture everything. Because I'm gonna have to get you to transfer stuff over anyway, and same for Dillon and vice versa. Yeah, like for the exclusives. So yeah.
I can offer you a Bidoof. Or a Graveler.
Can I offer you a Bidoof for these trying times?
You can't actually get Ditto until the end game either.
Yeah, which means that you can't do the breeding then. Like, I've been reading a lot about breeding because I've never had to do it. And I'm like, oh, I had a Chansey. I was like, oh, this must be good to breed. And I was like, oh, Chansey's great. But you need a Ditto. I was like, okay, I'll get a Ditto. I get it till you're done. That's...
There is a lot of finite things like that they just don't get right. And it just breeds more frustration.
What? No, I think they've got them right in the later games.
Yeah.
Like in Sword and Shield, you got a Ditto very quickly, so you could start that stuff very quickly. But in the older games, yes, they were much more. And especially Diamond Pearl were notoriously restrictive in that until the end game. Now, if you go into the Underground, you can catch a lot more. And I think that's where I've caught some of my stuff is in the Underground. But we'll get onto that in a minute.
Like, just while we're on the go, gripes. the one thing I don't like, I never liked in the franchise was having to trade to evolve. Like, let me have a Golem, let me have a fucking Machamp, and let me have a Gengar. Like, I don't.
Or give me a way in game to trade with someone,
Yeah.
like an NPC or a PC or something. Like, don't.
Now, a few of the NPCs do offer it, but they're asking for like the most obscure thing that like you're not gonna get until the end of the game.
Yeah, I haven't come across them, so I don't know. But that is a gripe of mine as well, because
Yeah.
Kev messaged me the other day. He's like, "I see you're online. Jump into this code." I was like, "Okay," and then trade. Here's.
I wanted a Machamp.
Here's Kadabra. Here's Machamp. And so here you go. No, trade him back. He's like, "Thanks for your Zubat, prick."
Yeah, just
no, he's nowhere to be seen. I need him now, and he's fucking nowhere to be seen.
I'm around. I have my Switch right here.
I'm getting you after this. Yeah.
Pokemon currently being played. It's very
Because
bright.
I need to get set up on your link code as well.
And there's my team.
Oh, that's a nice team.
I was gonna ask, who did we all go with as a starter?
I think we all went with
Chimchar.
fire starters, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? From not playing this game and like playing Pokemon Go and that over the years, I never took a liking to these generations of starters like Piplup, Chimchar, and Turtwig. Especially the later evolutions, like the third evolution, Empoleon, I thought was a bit like okay.
Yeah.
Same with Infernape and what was the other one? Not Growl.
Infernape is, Mom, can I get a Blaziken? We've got Blaziken at home.
But like that dual type of fighting and fire, I think works really well. And I've taken to it like, oh, it feels like a new starter to me, because it was just one of those that I was like, oh yeah, I never had that relationship with it as a younger experience by playing it, and this is like your new starter. So that was one thing I really liked. So I really like him for a Nape now.
Yeah, same. I really find that he's probably overpowered, because
that's the thing with Pokemon, and that's
the Elite Four will ratio him. Don't worry.
Yeah,
really?
That is the thing
Earthquake.
with Pokemon. Like, if you have any idea of how the games work, which they're not very complicated, it is literally just, it's a rock paper scissors, but you know what wins before you start the battle.
Yeah.
And that's it. Isn't the most complicated system, so
yeah,
everything is overpowered.
The Elite Four are overpowered.
Are they? Nowhere near them yet.
I feel they are compared to the rest of the game.
Last night I did Fantanya, is that her name? The fifth one? I did her one, and she had me down to the last Pokemon, which was off type.
You know what? Actually, yeah.
Which one was she?
She did clean stuff.
The ghost type, is it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She cleaned house with me.
One of hers cleaned out my stuff. I was kind of like, what the? This is not normal.
Was it the Quagsire?
No. It was...
No. Whoever had the Quagsire,
that was a fucking beast.
He was shonky.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's no Miltank from Gold and Silver.
No, but it felt on that caliber. Like it was that kind of...
She had something. I can't remember. It might have been her Miss Magius, maybe. That took out three of mine.
Oh, maybe it was, because
it one hit killed three of mine. I was like, what? This is a change?
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Send out the level 40 Luxray with Bite or Crunch to take it out there.
That's exactly what I had to do. It was the only
do you know what it was?
left.
No, do you know what it was with me, right? I was playing through that. I was kind of like, I'm gonna use these gym battles to level up my lower stuff. And then by the time I was like, no, it just cleaned it out. So like, right, putting out the level 40 Luxray, be fine.
Yeah.
She had Drifblim, Gengar, and Miss Magius.
Yes, the Miss Magius. Yeah.
Miss Magius, yeah.
Cleaned me out.
Yeah, same. But I was gonna say, the other thing that, while we're on gripes, is the battle animations. I've had to turn them off because they take so long. But the battles themselves feel like they just drag on. They're not quick.
You know what it is, right?
Did you turn text speed up to fast in your settings?
Yeah, of course.
That's making sure.
I need to do that because my biggest gripe with the game, and I'm fucking sick of seeing it, is Infernape or blah 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 is waiting for your direction. And it's just like that extra dialogue box, it just takes up so much time because it's not like you're delayed in any means. You're literally like spamming A and it's like it's waiting for your direction. It's waiting for your direction and it's just like
It means they like
please.
you.
Please.
I don't care.
It means they like you.
I feel like they
Yeah.
they what's the word I'm looking for? They get for a better word of get rid of. They dispel their status effects a lot more. Like if you're poisoned or sleep or burned, they're kind of like, oh, we got rid of it, so he doesn't make you feel bad. I feel like that happens a lot, and
Yeah.
I actually like that.
If you use the same team quite frequently, that does happen because they
Yeah, shows the relationship.
their relationship. Yeah, they have a good relationship with you, so they like, oh yeah, I can do this now.
Was the underground in the original games?
I actually don't know. I was actually thinking of that. I think there was something, but I'm not 100% sure.
Because it feels very reminiscent of the wild area in the new one,
It is,
Yeah.
where they have their own dens, types, and stuff like that. And it's overworld, which looks really nice.
And you can play it with your friends.
Yeah.
Oh, can you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or random
Didn't know
people online.
Nice.
Always make
I
sure
haven't. I
always
haven't
make
played
sure
that at
you're
all.
online in the underground because the group gets progress together for the
Okay.
Diglett capturing stuff. So the group progresses together, whereas if you're by yourself, you progress solo. So it takes way longer. I don't know how many people are with you. I think there's like 10, maybe 12 people down there. And you can see each other running around and you can interact with each other. It's kind of cool.
Okay.
But you can go down as a, like, we could set up a link code where we go down together. Or if we're in a group, we can go down together as well. So, kind of cool.
How do you find? Do you guys find the underground? Because I haven't touched it at all, apart from getting the first scope or whatever it was of it.
Yeah, I spent quite a lot. Like, I've played 30 hours, 29, 30 hours. And I've only got 5 gym badges as well. So, I spent quite a lot of time in the underground at the beginning. Yeah, it's good. Like, it gives you access to kind of rarer Pokemon earlier in the game. Like each room, before you get into all the statue stuff, each room has it's like a set number of Pokemon that can spawn. So different rooms have different types. So you could be in a rock room, it spawns a rock type Pokemon, but each room has a rare Pokemon that can spawn, and you can force them to spawn with your statues in your den. So what I spent a lot of time down there was just getting the colored statue. So you got 3 different levels of statue. You got the basic bitch statues, you got color statues, and then you have the legendary statues. I don't have any legendary ones yet, but I spend a lot of time getting the color statues because they have a much bigger effect on forcing the spawns in specific rooms. So in your den, if you put in a bunch of fire type statues, if there's a fire type Pokemon gonna spawn in a specific room, it increases the chances of the fire type one spawning. So, for example, Magby was a rare spawn in one room. So I threw a load of fire statues into my den, which increased the chance of fire Pokemon spawning, which forced the Magby to spawn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So now,
Where's your den?
Huh?
Where's your den?
In the underground. In the
'Cause
Grand
I was
Underground.
waiting for that point in the game for it to tell me, like in Ruby and thing, it tells you it's like, oh, you can now dig into this wall to make
It
a fucking
does.
base or whatever. I didn't come across that in the story.
It
I
gives
didn't come
you.
across anything about it then.
Yeah, it
You-
gives
the-
you,
the
it
old guy
gives you
brings
the
you
drill.
down.
The old guy brings you down, and then you go back up, speak to the old guy again, and he'll give you some sort of drill thing, and it just says point at a wall and make your den. So you go down to the
He
underground.
says come back with something.
Yeah,
I remember Googling that and I hadn't got what he was asking for.
but
and I
it's
was
something.
like,
It's something very basic that he asked you to bring back. I'm not sure what it was,
okay.
but yeah, you just go down, drill into a wall, and boom, there's your den.
I'm gonna go to him right now and see what the fuck he wants.
This guy's playing fucking Pokemon during the podcast.
No, I'm not. Can't prove anything.
There's a drill. There's a drill that he gives you. So he gives you one. They're one use. So when you use it to make your den, it's gone. But you can buy more of them in the underground from the vendors down there if you want to move your
There's
den at any time.
Vendors
microtransactions.
down there.
Not with money, with fucking Pokemon money, you fucking tool.
The microtransactions in Pokemon games. My God.
Yeah, you play
Toxic.
Pokemon Go. It's how we know each other. But yeah, no, the underground's cool. I spend a lot of time, so you go to the sparkly bits on the wall, and then you can chip into them, and they give you the statues. During there's a bar counts up when you're down there for Diglett. When you're running around the underground, you'll see Diglets and Dugtrios. They'll disappear. They'll leave a thing like in Deepstone Crypt where the bit of the guys there, you have to pick it up. The only way I can describe it. You pick that up, and when the group bar gets to 40, it says something special will happen in the underground. So that does two things. If you drill into walls, then when the counter is up, you get the color statues, which are green. They're not shinies. They have no effect on shinies. They just increase the chances.
They do look really nice, actually. I noticed that.
Yeah, they're cool.
The green
And they
things,
have the
yeah.
sparkle like the shiny Pokemon, but they don't do it in the shiny. I don't know why they did that. But yeah, they're called color Pokemon statues. But the other thing it does, it actually does half the shiny rate, or doubles the shiny rate when you're down there. So the base shiny rate's 1 in 4,096. During that period, it's 1 in 2,040, whatever. Now, with the shiny charm and with chaining, you bring that right down. But it does increase shiny rates during that period of time.
It's chaining in this again, is it?
Yes, chaining's in this. I fucking hate chaining. I fucking hate chaining. But you can get really good shiny rates through training, though. It's the only thing.
So chaining is just encountering or defeating
You
or
can't
encountering
do
the
it.
same Pokemon.
Defeating.
Defeating, okay.
Yeah. You can't do it until you... I think you get it with the national decks or
I was
after the
thinking
national decks. You get something for your Pokewatch. That, or whatever
Oh
it's called.
yeah, it scans it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then you can chain den, and you can get really good shiny rates from chaining. It's like you can literally nearly guarantee it. Like I know a guy did like he did like a 50 chain on Bagon and got 5 shiny Bagon in an hour. So you can get really good shiny rates in it if you chain.
And this is one thing that I don't know what section we're on, but I want to kind of talk about some of
We're
the
just
things
kind
that I
of
do.
pissing into the wind here.
That's fine. I want to kind of praise the game for a couple of things, and I think one of them is the mechanics in that. Thinking back to my time with Yellow and Blue and Red, and even with Let's Go, a lot of this stuff is new to me. So a lot of these kind of like I'm reading up on stuff because I'm wondering what do I do next, and reading that the national dex comes when you see 151, and then that unlocks more spawns. I know you were saying, Dill, that's not really great, but for me, I'm kind of going, oh, there's new things to unlock that normally when I just beat the Elite Four, for me, it's like, that's it, I'm done now. Like, I don't really shiny hunt. But now I'm like, oh, there's more Pokemon, and now there's the underground that I can do the shiny hunts, and there's even they're not the raid dens, but they have like a park where all the legendaries are that you put a statue into. And that's a way for you to just do your soft resets for your shiny legendaries. I'm like, I love that. Like, that to me now is like, oh, it makes getting a shiny more accessible. I might have to still reset it 4,096 times.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that idea of like,
possible.
yeah, it's possible now. How many? What's that for?
I think that's for Regirock.
Oh yeah, I gave
stopped
up on
doing
that
it.
because I find that's too long.
Yeah, I'm not a
takes
big
a
fan
while.
of shiny hunting at all. Like I do it in Pokemon Go. That's the
That's because you don't have to do anything in Pokemon Go. You just keep clicking. So frustrating. But it's like I'm liking that Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl seem to have these mechanics baked into the game for further on, and that it's not just around catching Pokemon and then that's it. Collect your 150 and you're done. There's more stuff behind it, and even bringing in those legendaries, and hopefully then we might have ways to collect more than one legendary, or they'll bring in other things. What's Kev doing? He's playing Pokemon Go.
I got a raid invite.
You did, yeah, you bastard.
Yeah, because like even the thing I'm more not annoyed with, but it's like it's frustrating is that because a lot doesn't unlock till after you do the national decks or whatever, or after you complete the game. It's like going into the end game, like going into the Elite Four. My variation, I feel like this is the worst I've had in all the games. Like I don't have like I more so have one type with 3 different subtypes on it. So like my Dialga might have Dragon, Dark, and Ice, rather than like having an actual Dark type.
Yeah. And it is great though that a lot of the Pokemon in this gen are dual types.
Yeah.
Because I think if they didn't have that, the game would feel way more difficult than it should do. Because as I was saying there, your one Fantania, like she one-shotted at least 2, if not 3, of my Pokemon. And I only beat her because I had a Luxor with Bite on it that I could actually get her at the end. But it's
tough when you're limited, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's making it more difficult because of that. Because that
Steven,
selection seems.
Would you say it's the Dark Souls of Pokemon games?
I would. Yeah, this is the Demon Souls of Pokemon.
Demon Souls is easy.
But it's like, you know the way you have your core team by the end of the game?
Yeah.
And it's like
and that's usually the team you stay with forever. You might add in the legendary into it, but for the most part, I get what you're saying.
So, like, this is the first game where I'm actually struggling on the Elite Four. I have a save at the champion, and she is shit stomping me. Like, I'm literally, there was only one time out of about 15 to 20 resets that I actually had a chance, and I got like fucked out of it for stupid shit. But I'm like, do I abandon it and take another 2 or 3 different variations of Pokemon out of my box and go level them, because that's what it feels like I have to do, because the types are so sparse that it's like she has one Pokemon. I won't say spoilers or whatever, but if I had a specific type to match that, I know I could 2-tap it, whereas I have nothing to counter it right now. And TMs, I have nothing that I could learn that will benefit me whatsoever. So I literally have to spam revives, put out a tank, and just let him absorb everything while I revive 5 other Pokemon.
You know what? That's actually one of my big gripes with the game, and it's because it's such a remake that's very committed to the. I used the term earlier. I can't remember it. My brain has just gone to mush. Faithful remake, because it's a very faithful remake. When you use a TM, it breaks, and it's one of those quality of life changes that, as the games went on, they went, yeah, that's a stupid thing. Now you have TMs and TRs where TRs break after one use, and you can get them versus TMs. Once you have it forever, and you can keep using it. So that's one thing. Going back to an older game and kind of like, I hated when it was like this.
Yeah, because it used to be just the HMs that didn't break, wasn't it?
However, I like that HMs aren't the thing in this game. It's one of those things that's a really good quality of life thing. There's no HMs, that you just get it as part of your
watch.
Yeah. And you don't have to teach it to a Pokemon anymore as well.
Yeah. But you can if you want to do it. And you can get rid of it then. Because Surf is such a powerful water move, you might as well have it on.
Yeah.
Something, for example. But now, I quite like that difficulty level. I think that's a complaint that some people do have, is that the games are too easy. That's like, he has a fire type, I'll use a water type. He has a dark type, I'll use a fighting type. Whereas I think I enjoy that. I actually have to think about what I'm using. I think it is a bit jarring when you're coming from the other side of it, like, I usually just play through it, and I get my story, I get my thing, and I enjoy it, and that's that. Whereas I do get that it is a bit jarring, but I like it. I'm somebody who takes my time playing through things. Like, it's rare. Like, if I ever go on to how long to beat this, whatever it is, and if it says it takes 20 hours, that's taking me 35 hours. Or if it says whatever, 50 hours, it's gonna take me 80 hours. I play games really slowly. It's why I'd be the worst fucking streamer, because I just take so long playing through things. And not because I'm struggling, I just take things at a very slow pace.
Yeah.
So by the time I get to the Elite Four, like, what level was your stuff when you got to the Elite Four?
I think I was 60.
Yeah, like my team after
Like my
5
main was
badges,
60, and then they were like
Yeah.
56 and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I've got 5 badges. I'm just gonna double check that real quickly.
Like the
I've
Elite Four
got-
kind of throw a curveball at you because it's like, so the first one is like a bug type, so you're like, oh, I'm gonna go with fire, I'm gonna be fucking shitting all over them. But then he'll send out like a water type, and you're kind of like, what the fuck? Like their variations on Pokemon are not true to their type,
yeah,
but
and that's the dual types in this game. Yeah.
yeah,
Like for example, I've got 6 badges actually. Not I've just got the 6th badge, but my Luxray is level 47. My Infernape is level 46. So by the time I get to the Elite Four, I'm gonna be mid 60s, late 60s.
yeah, 70s if even.
It's just because I'm such a slow player.
The dual type works both ways as well, and it's fucking you over both ways. Like in terms of just, and again with the Elite Four, one of their Pokemon could be a water type, but they use a fucking thunder move on you, and you're just like, you feel like you can't.
It feels like you're up against an actual person rather than just an NPC.
And it does feel very clever in that sense, because obviously when you send out that type, it just automatically uses the most powerful effective, whereas with the dual type, you can send out a lesser, but still know that move, so it won't do that one hit on you.
If you do need to level stuff up, go into the Grand Underground, because as you get more badges, the level of Pokemon down there scales with you. So if you have 1 badge, they're like level 10. If you have 3 badges, they're in the 20s. I think if I go down now, they're in the late 30s. So if you do need to level up, just go down and farm some Pokemon down there for a while.
I might do that, because like, it's just annoying and it's ruining my experience that I'm kind of like, I might just disband in the Elite Four and go level.
Do you need Steven to give you a hand with a certain dragon?
Is there a blue dragon there? I can do that.
No, that's Yu-Gi-Oh.
It's just got
that's
blue eyes,
different.
yeah.
It's a white dragon. with blue
That's the
eyes.
other anime. But yeah, I think overall, I really enjoyed the remake. Like those 20 hours flew by, and I didn't feel like bored at all. I was more so like, oh, I've played a good chunk. I got to this new town. I'm gonna stop playing it now because I want to keep that experience for next playthrough.
Yeah, I do play it, like, just, you were talking about how you play the game, that you kind of play to the Elite Four, you finish it. I kind of treat the Elite Four as the tutorial, if that sounds right. No, as in,
No, it doesn't.
Like, it's like, I treat it like Destiny story.
The game opens up then after that.
Yeah, like, I treat the Pokemon games like I treat the campaign in Destiny, that I play through it to get to the good stuff. Or I play through it to get to I'm now going to farm for what I want. And that's how I always treated Pokemon games. I don't treat them as I'm going to just get through it, get my team, get to Elite Four, and then I'm kind of done. Like, most of my play, like, I played... somebody who was very critical of Pokemon Sword and Shield. I've played... I sound like fucking Adele there for a second. How do you check this? Profile. I've played 475 hours of Pokemon Shield. So I clearly enjoyed
those are resets.
Yeah, I clearly enjoyed myself.
Yeah, but like, was most of that now because of the max or the raid layers?
The raid layers, the raid dens,
Yeah.
just just farming them for hours and hours and hours. Not just the legendary, the actual raid dens as well, because the shiny chance was so good.
Oh, was it in the wilds? Whatever it's called.
Wild area. Yeah, it's called join. It's called join a Discord server.
Yeah. That was nice.
I liked it and I hated it at the same time. Like, and it's the same with Pokemon Go. In that, I love getting I love getting shiny Pokemon. It's great having so many of them now, but at the same time, it takes away that I got a shiny, no way, kind of feeling that you used to get. Like, I remember when I first started going, like, I was Masuda methoding a Charmander years ago, and after I don't know how many, I went through several hundred eggs, but when I finally hatched, it was kind of like, oh, I got it, yes.
One of those moments, yeah.
Now it's kind of like, oh yeah, I got a shiny. Whereas I think that's why I enjoy the legendary shiny hunt so much in in Sword and Shield, in the Max Raid, the Dynamax Adventures, because it has that. I might get this in 2 runs. I might get this in 20 runs, or I might do this 400 times and still not get it. It gives me that feeling of I got something. Whereas with the join a Discord server or community day in Pokemon Go, it takes away that feeling a little bit. It's like Zersoul Galahorn rather than, oh my god, I got it as a drop from fucking Crota or something. It just gives you that moment of, I remember where I was when I got this. Whereas
You mean you earned it, yeah?
yeah, instead of earned it. But no, it gives you that feeling of, oh my god, I finally get it. And it's that moment of relief of getting it. Instead of just, oh yeah, I got it. I got it on a community today. Now, it's still cool when you get it, don't get me wrong. But it doesn't have that, I worked for this, I tried to get this, and I finally got it. It's great. That's not for everybody. That is something that I enjoy personally from playing games. And it's probably why I enjoy Souls games, Steve, and why you enjoy Souls games. It gives you that, I finally got this, or I burned it to a crisp with Firestorm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Elden Ring might have that as well, so.
Hopefully. I don't know. I kind of feel
I don't know. I don't want
I,
to have Firestorm.
yeah, I kind of feel like I cheesed my way through Demon Souls a little bit. Like,
No, you play Demon Souls properly.
I played Demon Souls as Demon Souls. I was actually, do you know the Twitter page I sent you last night? Is it Sun High Legend? I hope I didn't butcher that. I love when they do Bloodborne or a Souls game.
Oh,
Because
bosses,
watching somebody who is like adept at playing those games is, in my opinion, one of the best things you can watch in video games. Whereas when you watch someone who's actually not very good, it's kind of like, just what are you doing? But now watching them do the no-hit boss battles, it's just, and it's not even doing no-hit boss battles, it's that they know exactly what the boss is going to do. And they are literally, it's like choreography. They know, like, they've done it so many times that they are choreographing what they are doing next. And it's so satisfying to watch. It really is. Sorry, I got a bit off topic there. That's not Pokemon. But Diamond the Pearls, the Dark Souls of Pokemon, so it was relevant. I got it's a Pokemon game. Like, it's nothing. It wasn't like they remade the whole thing. Like, they're more remaster than remake.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same games, just with really, really nice Dillon textures, and some certain things are upgraded. So yeah, it's exactly like, it's what I expected to get. It's actually probably went a little bit past what I expected, because I wasn't a fan of the art style. So it's what I expected to get with an art style that I like. So I'm kind of like, yeah, you know what? I'm really enjoying myself. And it's really, I'm like, oh, I can't wait for Pokemon Legends game to come out in Feb, whenever it is. Like, I'm really excited for that to come out, because it's another game in the Pokemon series, but it's something fresh and it's something new.
Yeah.
Whether I end up liking it or not when it comes out, it's still something new, and I'm really excited for that. And getting the remake so close to that coming out, it's just kind of, it's like playing the network test for Elden Ring, Steve, and it's kind of poked the fire a little bit. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that now, even more because of the remakes. I know it's going to be a change. It's going to be quite different in a lot of ways, but it's still going to be a Pokemon game, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, no, I really am. And actually, when
I'm playing through these games now, you're kind of hearing things said by NPCs that's kind of like, oh yeah, it kind of links in of why they're doing that game. Like, when you bring something to, what's the white-haired NPC's name in the black? I can't think of the name. Cynthia? Yeah.
Oh.
When you bring it to her grandmother, like, oh yeah, this town has been here since the beginning, since before Sinnoh was even a region. It's like, yeah,
that's a nice little nugget.
It's just how the dialogue kind of fits into all of that. Yeah. Sorry,
I'm getting excited for just saying, I'm getting excited for Legends Arceus, and even now, like in Pokemon Go, it's Season of Heritage. I'm like, ooh, they haven't announced what's going on. I'm like, wouldn't it be amazing if we got Arceus in Pokemon Go?
It's
If
probably
finally,
It's probably
that's
gonna
why I saw a
happen.
list recently of the Pokemon that they've skipped, like in
Quite a
the
lot.
generations and legendaries and stuff, and it's crazy.
I
Yeah,
think
It's just
Kecleon's
like
a funny one, Stephen.
Yeah.
You mentioned that. How they're gonna do that? Yeah, no, they've skipped quite a lot. They really have.
Mhm.
yeah,
Do you know,
and Arceus, like that's
today
what
was the first time in a long time I put like a decent amount of money into Pokemon Go because we have new legendary shinies for the first time in a long
Zekrom Rush,
time.
yeah.
Were they the two you missed and you wanted them?
Yeah, and then they came back again eventually last time.
Yeah, I need to get a Reshiram. Actually, that was my
The only
first
thing is,
Zekrom I got today.
they're kind of crap shinies. That's the only thing. But
I
anyway.
like Reshiram with the gold tail. That's the
Yeah, I
like
like my
Zekrom
shiny.
is
I
just
like my
another
shinies
shade
to
of
be
black.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
I actually
Like a
just need
pink
them because I don't
Heracross.
have them.
for the decks.
That's fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, so now if anyone wants to trade me a Reshiram, I'll take it. But
We're
I'll
gonna
trade
have
one,
to be
yeah.
a little bit closer for that.
or you just take my login details.
That's
I
also
wish that
very
was the
true.
thing that they got rid of as well, like the distance, because
Yeah,
It's silly.
it's
Do you know
too
what?
much now.
I can understand it. Like if it was a couple of 100 kilometers or within the same country, I could get that much.
Mhm.
It's you literally have to be touching nipples.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's
Yeah.
just it takes away
It's
from
silly.
the fun
It's silly.
because it defeats the purpose of having friends because
Yeah.
you have to
Yeah.
have friends in a close proximity rather than
Like when they do when they extend the trading out to 40 kilometers, whatever, it's fucking great.
yeah.
You catch up all your lucky trades.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
It's like they're there, and then you're kind of like, I'm
We're
never going to
lucky
see this
friends.
person again. We're lucky friends, yeah. But it's like half the people on your friends list. It's like you've met through raids or you've met through groups that you've
You're
done
welcome.
community days or whatever. That you're kind of like you're never going to come across those people again. So yeah, having that basis is a bit frustrating.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's like they did it with raids. There's no reason they can't do it with this. But you know what they'd fucking do if they did it. They'd monetize it.
Yeah.
They'd monetize it.
Here's a trade pass. You get one free every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? I wouldn't even mind that because
Yeah.
if it meant that they actually gave us the ability to do it,
Yeah.
and you got one
Yeah.
free every week, I go, do you know what? It's fine
Do you know
because I
what?
could actually
Yeah.
do it.
That's not a bad way to do it. In that, do you know the way you have for putting them into Pokemon Home? You can only do 5 shinies in a week,
The energy.
or you can only you get the energy. They could do a trade the same way as that you only get so much at a time. That I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. I wish you could trade
Anyway.
from Pokemon Home back into Go because that'd be great. I'm not going to shiny
because
Home.
you brought everything into Pokemon Home. I saw Steven's Pokemon Home the other day. I was kind of like, do you even have anything left in Pokemon Go?
I do. That's the problem.
Yeah,
I just don't have anything good.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I got my
we gotta
Reshiram in
get off the topic.
Pokemon Home.
You have it in there already?
I have it in Home. I just don't have it in Go.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, like in terms of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, like
BDSM? P?
BDSM, yeah, BDSP. I heard what you said.
It was intentional.
No, it wasn't. Flip of the tongue. I know what that cardboard box is at the back. It's not. That's not a poster. That's a long L dildo.
Oh, you want to see this? You keep talking. This is fucking so cool, man.
Oh, is this the Vault poster? Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, of all the glass one, nice.
I have to frame it, but finding a correct size frame is a bit of a pain.
And tell you what
Frames make no
size.
sense. I wish
I
there
know-
was
I know
one
what size it is.
website called frame.com and you could literally drag the frame further out and they will make that.
There's business for you.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
That's
Got a
lovely.
really nice finish to it,
Jesus.
like.
Yeah.
I know the
It's
light's
that.
kind of ruining it, but you get the point.
No, it's class. What's it say in the back?
You did it.
Oh,
Just
the bungee.
All the Glass
Yeah.
2021 and the artist's name. It's going right there.
Nice.
yeah.
But I haven't
Oh,
decided
definitely.
where I'm putting it because I've got other stuff to put up as well. Which I'll show them.
You
off
just
in a
said it's
second.
going right there.
Yeah, no, I haven't decided if it's going central or to the side or up
Oh,
or down.
okay.
Because I have other stuff that I want to put up there as well. It's so fucking cool. Because I've got the stuff. I've got the DCP posters to frame and put up as well. Like you have behind you.
Like up behind me, yeah.
Anything else you want to add in about BDSP, Dill?
But I've also
No.
sorry.
No, I think I just think it's the what?
They're just prints
Nice.
from the original trilogy, like.
Okay. Yeah, if remakes going forward, if they kept this formula going, I'd be more than happy to buy them because
I'd happily play
it's
through the
really
rest of them because
enjoyable.
I haven't
Yeah.
touched any of them, so I'd love for we never got a gold or silver one, did we? Did I miss
We had
that?
Soul Silver and Heart Gold, but they were
But not for
remade.
the-
They were remade for the DS.
Yes.
Yeah,
Which is
so
a
none
long-
for the
which is a long time ago. Yeah,
Switch.
they were remade at the same time Diamond and Pearl came out. I'm pretty sure.
I think they were, yeah.
Like, what's next? Is it Black and White or is it X and Y next?
Black and white.
Black and White. Black and White's next. Yeah. Which again,
got
I've
your rush
no
round.
memory of them.
I only played.
I played
one
them. I-
recently.
like-
I think I got halfway through.
Yeah.
it.
It's like when about 2 or 3 months before Black and White released for the DS originally. That's when I got back into. Yeah, that's when I got back into the Pokemon games after taking a bit of a break as I was a teenager. So like when Black and White were announced, I went and bought Diamond and Pearl and played through them. But for some reason, I don't know why, I just don't have a good memory of Diamond, Pearl, Black and White. Whereas X and Y onwards, I remember like Destiny.
Did not play Black and White 2, no?
I didn't play Black and White 2, no. And they cost a fortune to buy now. It's like I'm not bothered.
Do they have the same legendaries? Or do they still Reshiram and Zekrom?
Yeah, they brought in Kyurem for that.
Yeah.
I think did they
Oh,
The
okay.
fusion,
So it's like they
the fusion. Yeah.
bind together? Yeah.
Is that what Curium is it?
No,
You-
it's separate.
Oh,
but you can fuse Kyurem with
Yeah.
yeah. You get it.
Oh, yeah.
So you have
Yeah.
white Kyurem and black Kyurem.
Yes,
Cool concept, but
it is. They kind of went away from that sort of stuff. They kind of started it and then went, nah, fuck it.
they try to. I think every generation they try to introduce their new like Gigantamax and Megas and stuff like that.
Actually, you know what?
instead of
That's the
just-
one thing I'm kind of gutted that the Megas aren't part of this. Aren't Mega Evolution's not part of Diamond and Pearl? Because I'm pretty sure it was in the originals. I think that's the one thing they left out. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. That might have come later on. I thought I thought they would have brought it back for it. They've been a recurring feature since its debut in X and Y, so they weren't available in Diamond and Pearl. So fair enough. Never mind. But yeah, it would have been nice to have them. Like I think that's the one really sad thing about moving your Pokemon from older games to home to the newer ones, that the items that they were holding get left behind in the game. So like you've got like the Mega Charizard item, the Pinsir and all that stuff, and they all get left once you upload them to home. It's a bit sad. But yeah, they're not available in some games, so you can understand why.
Yeah.
I liked Mega Evolution. It was something I enjoyed.
Never really used them.
And it's just something that my brain obviously just I don't know why I've got such a terrible memory of Diamond and Pearl playing them originally. I'm playing it, I'm like, I don't remember this. I don't remember this city or this town or this area, whereas in any of the other games, like the originals or Black White aren't as bad or X. I remember so much of it. I don't know why it's so bad for Diamond and Pearl, despite playing them. I don't know.
Have you anything else you want to add in about the game's remakes?
Really, it's like if you enjoy Pokemon games, you're gonna enjoy these. I think the one thing that's kind of wild is how popular Pokemon is again. Like it's more popular now than it was when we were kids somehow. Maybe that's because of social media. It's just everything's dialed up to 150 million. But like Pokemon over the last 2 years is I think Pokemon Go kind of relit the fire a little bit. That suddenly all these millennials had a Pokemon game on their phone that kind of like nostalgia, woo, and I think it kind of brought a lot of people back into it. And like Pokemon cards over the last couple of years has just been fucking daft. It's like I've stopped buying them again because, well, a couple of reasons. The first one, that I used to like going in, buying the Elite Trainer box, open it up, bring it home, and then a month later go in, buy another one, and that. But now you have to pre-order them months in advance because they just sell out. And then
popularity.
Crazy.
And then you've got the other thing of I bought 1 or 2 of these Elite Trainer boxes and I didn't get the one card that I want, but Bob over here bought 20 Elite Trainer boxes and got everything, and now I'm a bit jealous. So yeah, it just creates this really toxic kind of environment that I don't really want to be a part of. So, but yeah, the games they're colorful.
They're kind of
colorful
they're
throwbacks
addicting again. Yeah, like I find it's relighting my addiction to playing Pokemon again, and I started playing Pokemon Go a bit more because of it.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful for some of the things I've been able to go to home, and I just wish the home integration was there so that I could fill up the Pokedex that bit quicker, or bring over some of my nicer Pokemon that I have, and but no, it's. Yeah, like in the evenings now, I look forward to just logging out of work, having food, and then just plonking myself on the couch and playing Pokemon.
I think Louise loves when stuff like this comes out for the DS or for the Switch even, because she'd be just doing her normal thing of watching something or playing something, and I'm sitting on the sofa out there playing stuff. So like I might not be doing something specifically with her, but I'm in the same room, so she's like, I get to see him a bit more.
You're alive.
Just turn the music up to max volume like you used to when you were a kid and used to drive your fucking parents crazy. Hearing the Pokemon Center team song like when I think it was when the Let's Go games came out, I put them on the telly and started playing them through the Switch, and my mom came in from work and she just went, that song. She shuddered. Like, I remember that in every fucking car journey when we were kids. Trying to play it in a street lamp.
Do you remember the days when you hadn't got the backlit on the Game Boy? Oh.
Did you have the magnifying light?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Still have it there somewhere.
But yeah, I think
like they're very honest remakes of the original games. They're not breaking fucking new walls or new territory. They're just what they are. They look nice. They play fine. They're Pokemon games.
Definitely worth it. Like as you said, if you're into Pokemon, it's definitely worth a purchase because it's everything that you've loved about Pokemon in newer, shinier format.
They're also the reason why we're never gonna get what Dill wanted with that. Bring all the old games to the Switch, because they can just remake them and give them a new shiny coat of paint and charge 60 quid for them.
Yeah,
that's why we're not going to get them. That's why we're never going to get them. However, if there was a subscription service that emulated all the old games, people would pay fucking crazy amounts for that. It could become an integration with home.
I would love it just to be part of the flat fee we pay for Switch Online that is going nowhere, and not be charged extra. But
yeah, it's not going to happen.
I think the only reason I have that is so that I could play, or I could use home.
How much even is that per year? Is it 20 quid?
20 quid, yeah. Like, it's not much, to be
fair. The only time I noticed it was when, like, I lost my fucking card, or my card got... Something happened. Oh, it got swallowed by an ATM, I think. And it was like, your Nintendo subscription needs to be redone. Your card details are no longer... I was like, oh, yeah, shit, I pay for that once a year. Whereas when it's PlayStation, it's kind of like, oh, that 60 quid's just gone. Oh, no.
That happened to me there on Black Friday. It came up and it was like, that card you use is no longer in use, so your auto renewal didn't go through. I was like, thank God, because they were going to charge me 60 quid. And then I had
Jesus.
my GameStop voucher. It's like grand. It was 40 quid in GameStop. I'll go in, end it there before GameStop inevitably closed forever. And
It's
got it
happening.
for 40
That
quid.
is happening.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna
So,
start taking your advice and start pre-ordering stuff in Smiths. It's a much smarter way of doing it because
my
Smiths is much more likely to last longer than GameStop because it kind of serves
and everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because my brother asked me what I wanted for Christmas. He's like, I was gonna buy
Did
it
you tell him a
the
MacBook?
opposite. He's like, I'm gonna buy the opposite Pokemon to whatever one you have now. I was like, oh, I'll tell you what, pre-order Legends Arceus for me in Smiths
There you
in
go.
Tralee, and I'll pick it up.
Nice.
And so that's grand. So I know that's safe now. Whereas if it was GameStop, like that could be gone.
Yeah.
You know what's
New year,
really
no
nice though?
stop.
Actually, I was looking through Steam today, and I came across the Elden Ring page. I was kind of like, I've already paid for you.
Nice.
Nice.
I was like, you're gonna come out, and I'm like, oh shit, I already paid for it.
That was me with Guardians, and it's actually just such a nice feeling of having a pre-order paid off.
And it's not through
Even-
GameStop, so it's okay. The only way the only way I don't get my game is if From Software go belly up in the next 2 months.
Imagine that. But yeah, because you paid yours off over time, Dill, didn't you, for Guardians?
Yeah, I done that for Guardians. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Nice.
won't be doing that with GameStop now that they close down.
The only other big pre-order I'll be doing with them is for the ultimate fan edition of Hogwarts Legacy. But
Oh, it'd be interesting to see what actually comes with that. Yeah,
yeah,
if it ever comes out.
Daniel Radcliffe himself.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? Actually, that's a fair point. That might get something next week at the Game Awards, potentially.
Oh, I
yeah,
heard
apparently
that there
there's
might be
loads of big
something,
announcements. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a
And
lot
very
of that.
next gen announcements.
Yeah, I think this
Wasn't
is the showcase where we'll start to see next gen stuff for real.
Yeah.
Because the last ones have been kind of what's already announced, whereas this is
Diablo first person.
I can't wait for the extra director's cut of Death Stranding, the one that Kojima actually
Yeah.
directed.
The BTs are now blue.
director's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sony's director's cut.
Sony's director's cut.
We could
Peter
even do a
Jackson's
Cyberpunk
interpretation.
update as well.
Well, they came out
Maybe?
there recently and said that stuff was delayed or...
They said that the earnings call was on this week, and it gave a release window at Q1 for the next gen update, and that has a massive. That's where the next big update is part of it. And they said that most of the staff has now moved from working on the main game to dedicated to the DLCs and expansions. So hopefully they're not too. The first one of them is not too far away, even if it's like an extra 5 hours.
February 22nd.
Just anything. I'd take anything, to be honest.
Yeah, we'll take one single map marker. He's like, yes.
Anything. Give me a mission.
Danger,
Exactly.
moderate.
Give me a mission, or give me a way to replay stuff like that. If they said, "Oh yeah, the first thing we're bringing out is a new game plus," I'm like, "Yay, that works."
Yeah.
Anything.
I noticed as well, actually, because I remember you saying it to me before. The names of all the missions are songs that Johnny Silverhands would have liked, but one of the missions I did a while ago was Disaster Pizza. I was meant to say that to you. I was like, oh yeah.
Slipknot.
Yeah, I like this one.
I saw one today. Someone tweeted it saying Radiohead were my most listened to band of the year on Spotify, and Cyberpunk 2077 is mostly responsible for that because of that.
Actually, based on the two of you doing your, I saw you put up your fucking Spotify stuff.
Spotify.
I did mine as well, just to be like, oh, I wonder what mine is.
Go on.
And yeah, I need to find it now. I was a little bit shocked. Well,
It is mad because you go through stages and you're like, holy shit, January to March was still this year, and you could have been in a whole different kind of music stage or creative stage.
Yeah, so like my top song, so number one, apparently I played this 66 times.
Banger Boy.
How did you know? No, it was Stranded by Gojira. Then it was Your Power Billie Eilish, but the rock metal cover by Melodica Bros. Just put that out there. Then Bad Apple by a band called Basement because it sounds a lot like the Endwalker trailer.
I have a question for Endwalker actually when you're finished.
Then Hypnotized by System of a Down, and then Asheville by System of a Down as well. And then in terms of my top artists, it was Gojira, not surprisingly, System of a Down, Melodica Bros, Masayoshi Soken of Final Fantasy XIV, and Nobuo Uematsu. I was like,
Nice.
wow, that's
Nice.
yeah. But
So I found funny in my top artist of the year that Samurai, the band that Johnny Silverhand was in Cyberpunk, was in my top artists for the year. And one of my top songs for the year was also from Cyberpunk. Endwalker, is that the end of Final Fantasy XIV? Is that the final expansion?
no,
because I've seen people talk about it, and from the way they talk about it, it's like this is the end of Final Fantasy XIV.
So the way it is that Final Fantasy XIV has focused on, I won't say the whole thing, but it's focused on a particular story about Heidelin, who you would have already come across, the woman who speaks just like hear, think, feel in your head, and it's the goddess in the crystal. So it's the story of Heidelin and her opposite, and that story is coming to an end, and how that ends, we don't know, but they've come out to say like the story will continue after that.
Okay.
But what it will look like, we don't know. And if you play through the rest of Final Fantasy XIV, and you go through Shadowbringers, there's hints at what that would be, and that's why people are going, this probably is the end of Final Fantasy XIV, but we've been told it isn't. So.
Okay. Well, that's fair enough. I've just seen some like people talking about it.
Yeah.
And the way they were talking about it was like, this is the last thing that's ever happened, and then they're moving on.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, it's really cool. Like I can't wait to get into it. The early access starts tomorrow, and I pre-ordered so I can go, but I probably won't touch it for ages. So I have to resubscribe to it as well. But it's looking forward to it because the story in Final Fantasy XIV is unreal.
And especially if it is the culmination of that one arc, that major kind of arc, I'd say it's nice to get those payoffs.
Yeah, especially with the way Shadowbringers went and the feels that they brought in and just how they changed direction with the story and made connections from 7 or 8 years ago. So yeah, be interesting to see how this goes. I'm sure it will land. I'm not going to say I hope it'll land well. I'm sure it will.
Yeah, it's got such a massive following currently now as well. Like with how New World didn't take off and with how WoW has been.
Imagine my surprise. Sorry.
But MMOs, I think, carry a lot of more die-hard players. They carry a lot more end-game kind of content players. It's not as easy to get into as your action-adventure or RPGs. That they're looking for those fine, ironed-out things for endgame, and if you can't produce that for them, they move on to the next thing.
100%. 100%.
And I think with WoW, it's the stories at that point, and then obviously the controversy that's going on behind the scenes. It's been the longest gap between updates, so they need something to fill that gap. New World was supposed to be that gap, and it hit that peak of 60, and there was just nothing there update-wise. So Final Fantasy,
if your graphics card survived.
Yeah.
But apparently that wasn't even that game. It was the graphics cards themselves. That it would have been an inevitable. It was just this was the one that sent it over the edge. Is what I was reading, but yeah. New World was fine for a while.
Yes and no. It was they didn't cap the fucking frame, so your graphics card just tried to work way too fucking hard, so it just went. Yeah. I actually don't even know if Falcon's got a new graphics card yet. Just speaking of that you were saying earlier about him. That he did something nice. We weren't bitching about him. We did that off stream, off podcast. Sorry, Falcon, you're not listening anyway, so it's fine. But no, I don't even know if he's got a new graphics card. His has been back with, I think it was EVGA. I'm not sure. Like it's been with them for 6 weeks now. He's been out of action for quite a while. Now I see he's playing Destiny on Steam with Chaotix this evening, so maybe he is back in action, but I don't actually know. I'm pretty shit, like, that's a 3090 that he's been... Actually, I think he actually just bought a 20 series card that he'll sell when he gets his back. I think that might have happened. That boy has too much money. Anyway.
This is the MacBook problem.
Sorry, that's come up a few times. Last night, my brother said, I'd love a MacBook. And I says, Ado, don't buy a MacBook. If you want to buy a laptop, get a gaming laptop because it's cheaper for better performance and better everything apart from it's that I've got a MacBook thing. Like, it's better performance, you have more features, you're less restricted, and it's the lower price tag. He's like, oh yeah, but that's just for gaming. And I was like, Ado, I know what I'm talking about. Please listen to me for fucking once in your life. Don't buy yourself a MacBook. If you're looking for something, look at the MacBook price and then buy a gaming laptop for the same price. It'll be better, trust me. He's like, oh, but I don't play games. I was like,
just tell him Apple hates shells.
Apple sponsor Bose.
Yeah. That'll
My
be
brother
the
hates
point.
Bose.
Apple said Ole out.
Oh.
Right, should we start wrapping it up then?
Yeah,
I think
anyway.
We've hit
I
the...
think the recommendation on it is if you're into Pokemon games, go fucking play it. If you're not,
I love
then
Tough.
It's not meant for you. Like, it's
If you have a little
horny on.
Yeah,
it's that
it's
kind of
the
thing.
meme invented.
Like,
It's in the
Pokemon
position.
games,
It's in the position.
like, I think it does need to be touched on. Like, with Pokemon games, it is the case of it's not broken, so Game Freak and Nintendo aren't gonna fix it. Now, Pokemon Legends might completely throw that in the fucking bin for us, but it is that case of they are the games that they are. They're not gonna take a big risk with them because, quite frankly, they don't need to. Because the Pokemon games sell like fucking freshly made Krispy Kreme donuts. Like, they sell like crazy, and it's the biggest IP in the fucking world. It's not going. It is. It's the most successful IP in the world.
Is it? I thought Grand Theft Auto took that show.
Maybe recently, but I was pretty sure Pokemon was the biggest. Not gaming IP in general.
I'm sure Disney would have something to say about that.
No, I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure it's the most successful one. It was up until recently anyway, but it's the case of they aren't going to take a big risk when it sells. They sell out all over the fucking world in an instant. So yeah, I think arguing about it's been the same thing for the last 20 years it's a cow's point. It's a moot point. It doesn't matter.
It's Pokemon.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
if you don't like
the highest grossing media franchise.
I knew it was something. Anyway,
Do you know what second to them though?
Hello Kitty.
Hello Kitty. In second.
man.
Followed by
it's
Winnie
Mickey.
the Pooh and Mickey Mouse. Man,
But anyway,
Star Wars just about tops that. So go on.
but yeah, it's a futile argument to argue that they need to change something because it's been the same thing for so long. Clearly not, because of how much they sell. They aren't gonna still so successful. Now, Reddit and Twitter will tell you otherwise, because the Pokemon fan base is one of the worst fan bases. Like, it's horrendous. Like, it makes Destinies look like a fucking walk in the fucking park on a nice summer's day. Like, it's so toxic and polarizing, and it's a terror. It's a horrible fucking fan base to interact with. So I just don't. Sorry, by the way, anyone on YouTube, but just fucking are. But yeah, but it's so successful, so they aren't going to change. So just if you don't like it, just don't play it.
Prints money for them.
It fucking rains money for them.
Mm-hmm. But no, I think that's it. I think we can wrap it up with that now after Kev's little YouTube rant.
Sorry. My bad.
You're lucky they can't hit the dislike button anymore.
Oh, they can. They just can't see it. We can see it though.
Can
Yeah, there's a dislike button there, but only the owner of the channel can see how many it has. So I'm
Fair
just
enough.
gonna make like 50 million YouTube accounts and just like it with all of them, so it'll make our page look really successful.
Sounds good. Yeah.
About
Maybe
as
this is how we
successful
take
as
off.
Pokemon.
Maybe.
Anyway, hopefully we'll be back next week because the Game Awards are on next Wednesday evening, and there will be a showcase involved in that. So hopefully we can fit something in there. And we have a couple of ideas over the next few weeks to bring the first year to a close. So we have a few things to do and a few things to talk about. So we will try do one next week on the Game Awards. If we don't, get
Fuck it.
wrecked, I guess. We will
I'll
see
be
it.
here next. Well, Tuesday.
We'll figure it out. We're
Well,
terrible.
like we
We're
always do.
terrible at organizing times. By the way,
Thursday evening.
Thursday evening works for me.
Yeah.
Stephen, you'll just have to sit up with it. We'll figure it out. Peace.
I'll bring the laptop to New York and I'll do it.
Coming live Saturday night.
Actually, I'll do that off. I'll do that off. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.